news. Breaking news on this show.
Breaking news. One of our star reporters, just neutral zone infraction / that mediocre sports show. You do the breaking news because
my dad actually sent me a text.
No worker.
It's like believe me, my dad is not going to say that he works for me.
He didn't even need to know.
So it's like, yeah, well, he wouldn't have watched the show anyway, so I guess I didn't have to. But Khalil Mack was traded to the Chicago Bears. Khalil Mack to the Bears for 2 first-round picks. What?
What the are you thinking?
It's like... What?
Okay, first of all, I've said in the past, we were going to do a quick show here. I've said in the past, I would love to see a salary cap where if you draft the guy, you train the guy, you can sign that guy for as much as you want, and it counts maybe half of what it would cost another team. And that's something I think...
Counts towards the salary cap, maybe 1/2 of what the contract is.
But the Raiders, my God, you are telling your fan base that we drafted this guy, we got this guy is awesome, and we're going to trade him for 2 first-round draft picks. And you know what that tells me? Who gives a shit? Sorry, I'm really tense here. I'm not even a Raider fan. But who cares? Because that just tells me you're going to get 2 players in the draft that'll be the greatest 2 players of all time, and you'll trade them away for more draft picks. Before they even... You are destined to be in a circle of mediocrity like this show. That was good.
So
I got a little bit of a tense headache here.
It's like, so basically, the trade is not finalized yet. It's all, but it's very close. No, it's close. They're just crossing the T's, dotting the I's, finishing it up. But there are other assets that are going into this as well. There's not just going to be the bulk of this is the 2 first-round draft choices and Khalil Mack. This is the bulk of it. These are the important pieces that are going with.
And
they haven't said what years those first-round picks are going to be yet, but as the story goes, as at this point, Khalil Mack will be traded to the Bears. 2 first-round picks the Bears will send over to Oakland or Las Vegas if you wanted. That's when they'll be drafting those picks.
I don't get this.
But Khalil Mack then will sign a contract with the Chicago Bears that even eclipses Donald's 6-year, $135 million deal. So the Bears are willing to pay Khalil Mack to be the highest paid defensive player, but the Raiders are not. And I think it's because of McKenzie. Because he came from the Packers, and they don't... This is not exactly the greatest way to do things. When you have a great player, a great edge rusher like Khalil Mack, you can't just let the guy go.
No.
And to me, 2 first-round picks, even if you pick up maybe a player or 2 or something like that, I still think that's under for what Khalil Mack is.
So we're getting him from Chicago. Let's say Chicago goes to the playoffs.
Well, yeah, now you've just made Chicago really good. The defense was already solid.
Yeah.
Now you're going to make the defense really good.
And
now the offense is still going to be terrible because of Mitchell Trubisky.
I don't think they're terrible.
But it's like they have a good running game. But the problem is now you have made that Chicago Bears defense really good. So now those draft picks could be in the middle to late first round.
Hey, I will trade you. It's a first-round pick.
I told Tony that I would give him Paxton Lynch.
That was what I was going to say. You are a thunder stealer.
But I told that to Tony yesterday. I said, Tony, what if I give you Paxton Lynch for Khalil Mack? And all he did was flip me off.
Yeah,
and I said, well, because he flipped me off with one hand, I said, that sounds like a maybe to me. And then he flipped me off with both hands. And
I usually get both. But I was good. Also, he's somewhere, I think, hunting today.
Yep.
And he is oblivious out in the woods somewhere. And it's kind of a good thing because the animals have a shot right now. If he were to find this news out while he's out there, you got no chance, animals. Not one.
Chance.
Not chance. He's going to be just out there like Elmer Fudd.
But yeah, so this is big news. I think it improves the Bears. I just think that Gruden and Mack. Gruden's an offensive guy, so he just doesn't look at Mack in the same way that he.
But you can't do this to your fan base. Well, your fan base is.
But here's the problem.
Like Von Miller.
It's like, there are some people that value those edge rushers more than others, and I don't think that Gruden really values the edge rushers like other teams do. But the thing is, when Gruden won his championship, he had a defense that had Warren Sapp and Brooks and Simeon Rice and guys like that.
Their offense sucked.
Their offenses were terrible, but boy, I'll tell you, those defenses were great. And now you're going to tell me that you're going to get rid of one of your best defensive players to pick up 2 first-round choices. And what are you going to do? Draft 2? Are you going to draft 2 quarterbacks, Gruden? Because I'm not real sure that you really know what you're doing there. But McKenzie's the one that's in charge.
You said, yeah. You said.
So McKenzie came out of the Green Bay organization, and we know Green Bay. We all know that Green Bay is not big on signing free agents. They are more developing their own players, and the free agents that they sign are more solid guys to surround what they have. McKenzie came out of that. He came out of that. So I think that I'll tell you this right now. I don't think Al Davis would make this trade. I think Al Davis would just let Khalil Mack hold out and eventually force him to sign for less.
He would.
Because, Al Davis was hard-headed, but I think Al Davis would have known the value of keeping a Khalil Mack.
Are they doing this because there's just no reason to perform this year?
And that's, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that because basically the Oakland franchise isn't much longer for Oakland.
One year, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they're going to end up in Las Vegas. So if they end up in Las Vegas, well, you're basically telling that Las Vegas fan base, it's like, we're going to have some draft picks. We're going to build with a young team. We have an exciting coach that you all know because he has been on TV for years.
Yeah, and he plays.
He has a funny nickname, Chucky. So he looks like the Chucky doll. But so I have a feeling that this is a lame duck year for the Raiders.
No, I think the next 10 years are lame duck years for the Raiders.
Well, I think the intent is for this just to be a lame duck year. Because remember how Cleveland was before they were moving? That team was a lame duck team. I mean, it's like the fans weren't supporting it. The players seemed to kind of lose.
That team had a chance, as we find out not too far in the future. 4 years later, they win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they win a Super Bowl. There were some good players on that team, but they did not play well that season. I think they went like 6-10 or something like that.
You brought up the point that they kicked ass that season at the beginning.
Well, no, but it's like they were 10-6 the previous year, and then in their lame duck year, the year before they were going to move, they played terrible because the fans weren't behind them. Yeah. So the breaking news here: Khalil Mack. Well, not really breaking news. It's probably been all over the place, but for us, we're within like 2 hours of it. That's breaking news for us.
Breaking news. And you heard it here first. Probably.
Maybe.
I just.
Hopefully, when people Google
I would
Khalil
love.
Mack trade,
Randy and I had just talked a few minutes earlier of the last very long show. How cool would it be to have Khalil Mack and Von Miller and
Bradley Chubb on the same team? But
and I totally disagree. If Gruden wanted this and McKenzie wanted this, to me, the only guy on that team that I would get pissed off at was Khalil Mack because he was the only one that tackled anybody. I got to tell you, Raider fans. And I know there's a whole bunch of you out there, you poor pathetic people. And
I think that this year is, I don't know. It's just one of those. It's going to be one of those weird seasons, I think, for Raiders fans.
For all you Raider fans out there, I'd just like you to go find your significant other and kiss them, because nobody should get screwed like this without a kiss. But that's pretty good. I almost used the F word.
It's like, don't.
I
it's
said
like,
I almost.
I know. It's like, but there's that other one you said. It's like,
which word?
I'm not going to say it.
Well,
but
am I going to ever know which word it is?
It's like, I'll tell you when the camera's off.
That's no fun. Oh, that word.
So it's like, there you go. What do you think of Khalil Mack to the Bears? Does this make the Bears a contender to win that division? Does this make the Raiders a contender to get the first pick in the draft?
Well, actually, that's another good point.
Yeah,
they could be doing
like
that. It doesn't matter, though. They're just going to trade it away in a couple of years.
Trade away the great player that they get.
You don't get Khalil Macks every damn day.
No.
You don't get Von Miller's, Khalil Macks, Watts every day. You just don't. There
are special players, and you just don't get them. But Tony brought up this point. If you don't want to be a Raider, I don't want you to be a Raider. So Tony's the one. Tony's a huge Raider fan, and he goes, if you don't want to be a Raider, I don't want you to be a Raider. So it's just one of those things where obviously he didn't want to be a Raider that bad, and he is now.
I think he did. I think he just was trying to get the money.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like
He's not chasing a ring.
he's not chasing a ring in Chicago.
That was a good.
It's like good segue to a show that hasn't even been released yet.
Thanks.
Because this one's going up first.
And I guess 10 minutes. That's good. We're done.
Yep. So with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom to trade a really good player